of Windows Phone 8 on the Lumia 920 device. And actually, I'm going to cover two things today. The first thing I'm going to do is sort of recap and demo a bunch of the things that we talked about earlier in June that are behind Windows Phone 8. And I'm going to sneak in a couple of extra new things there. But the second thing I'm going to do is focus on a new area of innovation and show things that we haven't shown before related to the camera and photography. There's a number of cool things that fit terrifically with the Lumia 920, and we thought today would be a great day to unveil those. Now, I'm not going to go through and show all of the terrific new features in Windows Phone 8. We're saving that for a later date, but still, there's some pretty cool stuff to go through right now. So let me jump over here and grab my Lumia 920 and start my demo. So what I have here is the Lumia 920. This is my own phone. That what I'm going to do is take you through how I might personalize it for me. As Joe and Stephen both alluded to or mentioned, we intend for Windows Phone 8 to deliver the most personal experience that anyone can get on a smartphone. And one of the main ways that we're going to do that this year is through our evolution of the Start experience. So I'm going to begin here by taking this relatively generic Start experience. I've signed into my Facebook account, I've signed into my Exchange account, but I want to customize it so that it suits me, bringing the people and things that I care about right to the front and center so they're faster and easier to get to. So the first thing I'm going to do here is go into the People Hub. And I'm going to find my wife. The top priority for me in my smartphone experience is having fast access to my wife, seeing what she's up to as she posts photos, as she sends me texts, all kinds of messaging. And then what I'm going to do is take both myself there at left and my wife. I'll press and hold here. I'm going to turn these into our new small size live tiles. That's new in Windows Phone 8. And then I'm going to take each of these and scooch them up a little closer to the top of the screen. I'll put myself right there. I'll grab my wife and move her up here. And there you go. So now I've got my own me tile handy. So if I want to post quickly to Facebook or Twitter, that's just a quick thumb press away. And now my wife is available and handy. That games tile right up there, I love playing games on my phone. There's a lot of games that I'm spending a bunch of time with, but I'm going to scooch it down here because what I want to do on my start screen is really focus on people up at the top. So instead of the games tile, I'm going to grab my photos tile here, which today is a large tile on Windows Phone 7, but now on Windows Phone 8, I can shrink it down to a medium size. And I'm going to scooch it up there, so I'm building this space at the top that I'm going to dedicate to the people that I want to stay in touch with. And now I need to fill in that black gap there, so let's go grab a couple more people. I'll go into the People Hub, touch the letter A here to get my picker by letter. Then I'm going to grab Terry Meyerson, my boss, pin him to start. And we'll go back here and grab Steve Ballmer as well, who we certainly wouldn't want to leave out of my personalized Start experience. So you can see here, obviously, Terry must be wondering what's going on with me. I've got missed calls from Steve. I've got new messages from Terry. Already the benefit of these live tiles, but let's scooch them up. And one thing that you might notice here is that these small people tiles, I see the photos that people are posting, but I also see the number of notifications. And you all are familiar with Windows Phone. We aggregate together things like your text messages, Facebook posts, so that you have one quick place to glance at and connect with all the things that the people you care about are doing. So now, the top of my Start experience here really is dedicated to those humans in my life that I want to be in touch with, and I feel pretty good about that. So the next thing I'm going to do is focus on apps. As Stephen mentioned earlier, the Windows Phone app catalog has been growing really quickly. We're well over 100,000 apps. And as many of you probably are aware, a lot of the announcements that we made in June relate to our core technology. The Windows Phone 8 technology shares a common core code base with Windows 8. And one of the benefits of that technology change is that our app platform becomes much easier as an ecosystem for developers to target a really wide range of devices. So let me just take some apps. The first thing I'm actually going to do is grab a couple apps here that already exist in Windows Phone 7, because Windows Phone 8, of course, runs the Windows Phone 7 apps as well. So I'll grab Flickster there. I'm going to grab the weather channel here and pin these to start. And you'll notice that right here on Windows Phone 8, even though I'm running on a brand new high-resolution screen, these live tiles scale up. They look terrific. These apps were unchanged, and they still work on Windows Phone 8. So all that benefit is still available to users. And what I'm going to do here is I'll grab these and scooch them up. We'll get them up here so they're a little bit better in view. And then the last thing I'm going to do with apps is jump back over here and grab a CNN tile. One of the things that's cool about this, CNN has built an app, and what they're going to do as well for Windows Phone 8 is support some of the brand new platform extensions that are available as part of Windows Phone 8. So here I can take this CNN tile, for example, and turn it into the new extra large size, which is incredibly handy for me as a guy who really wants to follow the news and see what the top headlines are, glanceably anytime I'm using my phone jumping to the start experience. So now you can see I've got at the top of my phone the people that I care about most. Right below it, I've got some live tiles from the apps and third-party experiences that I care about most. And that's an example of how the platform, these live tiles, of course, work not just on my Windows Phone 8 device, but on my Windows PC as well. The last thing that I want to do in terms of customizing my start experience and recapping some of what we talked about in June is bring the web into this story as well. So I'm going to go to IE, and I'm coming up on a blank page right here. But I want to do a quick thing, because we've mentioned that we intend for Windows Phone 8 to be really personal. And there's another nice little feature that we've done here to make IE itself also more personal. So you see that the button right up there next to the edit control that you can press to refresh. While that is nice, it's not what I personally would rather see every day when I use IE. So I'm going to go into settings here, and I have a few choices here. I can change that to a favorites button or change it to a tabs button. I'll choose tabs and go back, and now I've got a tabs button right there, super handy. I can touch that with one press, and now I can see all the open tabs that I have in IE10. So I'm going to choose Pulse here. I'm sure you all are familiar with Pulse. Pulse is a news aggregator, and what's interesting about this example is this is Pulse's new HTML5 website. And of course, in IE10, it works with touch. This is full hardware-accelerated HTML5, and the interesting thing here is that the markup for this website is exactly the same between the phone and my Windows 8 slate or laptop or desktop. The web authoring that's happened here using HTML5 standard support does rescaling of the layout of the page depending on the screen size. So I get a very consistent experience across this wide range of devices, enabling the site authors to target a huge number of people with a great, compelling experience. So rather than looking at food news, I'm going to use the Pulse HTML navigation here to choose the business news section. And you can see here, it's a nice looking layout, fits here. What I'm going to do is actually pin that to my start experience as well. So I'll pull up the app bar menu, choose Pin to Start, and now I've got an excellent HTML5 website right there as part of my customized start experience. So I feel pretty good now. I've got the people that I care about most, the apps, both some old apps and some new apps, and a website all building up this new, highly personalized experience for me. And what I want to do is something that's new, which we haven't announced yet. I want to share that with a bunch of my friends. So I'm going to use one of the new features in Windows Phone 8, and I'm going to press the power and home button here. We'll just press there. You heard that sound, you saw that flash, and up on top it says, saving to screenshots. So Windows Phone 8 now supports screenshots. I know some of you bloggers out there have been waiting, wondering when this feature will be available. Well, here it is. And just to show you how the task completes, I'll go into my Photos hub, where I'm going to spend some time because I want to really get into some of the new photography things that we've done in Windows Phone 8. I'll go into my Albums view, and you'll see there's my camera roll, my saved pictures. I've got all my SkyDrive and Facebook albums in here, so they're super easy to get to. And here is my screenshot list. I've got a bunch of screenshots. Here's the one I just took. And now for me, sort of a historic moment, I'll go into Share. Lots of ways I can share. I can share via tap and send with NFC. I could share via Facebook, OneNote. What I'm going to do is take this and post to Twitter, first ever